It shows you the green, the blue lines. And what I wanted to also show you was the transit-oriented development that we are planning, where the metro is coming on this line. You've got the light and blue light rails, and then you've got the bus terminal, and this orange patch that we show, it is our high access corridor. High access corridor is mixed use development, high FSI, and it's going to be like what they would call the downtown. Okay, so it's going to have a transit-oriented development where you will have all kinds of businesses, commercial, and people, residential development going on in one place. So from a social infrastructure standpoint, this shows you, I'd like to make a comment on this picture because this picture has captured the imagination of many people. And I wanted to share with you, how come there is a canal in Dholera? Most of you may be wondering, but this is a good time to share a little story with you. That all of you know Dholera is a very flat land. Okay? People routinely confuse flooding and flooded area with inundation. That is a technical difference between the two terms. Inundation means when water has nowhere to go because it is so flat that it has the inability to drain. नॉर्मल लैंड में पानी जब गिरता है तो पानी जिधर से स्लोप होता है पानी निकल जाता है, नदी में जाएगा, कनाल में जाएगा, किधर समुद्र में जाएगा, राइट? बट धुलेरा में इतनी जमीन फ्लैट है कि एक एंड ऑफ धुलेरा से दूसरे एंड तक देयर इज ओनली 1.5 मीटर ड्रॉप, तो पानी को जाने के लिए जगह ही नहीं होती. तो बारिश जब गिरता है, नदियां बहती है, तो पानी एकदम स्प्रेड हो जाता है. तो उसको हम टेक्निकल टर्म में इनंडेशन कहते हैं. तो हमने बहुत बढ़िया इंजीनियरिंग बनाई है इसके लिए. सो आई डोंट वांट टू टेल यू दैट दिस इज द फर्स्ट टाइम इन द वर्ल्ड बिकॉज देयर आर मेनी सिटीज इन द वर्ल्ड दैट हैव टैकल्ड ए इनंडेटेड एरिया. द मोस्ट prominent example is Venice. Venice is actually underwater. How many of you have visited Venice and you know how beautiful the city is? You know, if they can survive there for 500 years, Dholera is nothing. At least I can see ground. Venice में तो ground दिखता ही नहीं है, right? New Orleans in America is another area that is completely underwater, but people live there for the last 200 years. Dholera, what we have done is we have created this canal. This was an engineering solution to a technical drainage problem. Because the water could not flow, we created this canal so that all the water short distance can flow, but it cannot flow long distance. So once the canal was created, all of a sudden we realized the idea that this canal can become a very high real estate value. Just like you have the Sydney Harbour, you have the London Thames River bank. There are many places in the world where the natural river provides a great atmosphere for developing riverfront property. Sabarmati riverfront is a fantastic example. It was nothing there a few years ago, but today it looks really nice. So something like that is what we are planning in Dholera. So it looks very pretty now, but really this was an engineering challenge, a solution which has now become really a very high aesthetic value, which is actually going to become an icon for Dholera, I think, okay, in the future. So from a social infrastructure standpoint, we have planned everything that a resident would like to have. Okay, so for example, let me come back to the housing in a second. Let me just show you the life in Dholera. We have structured the green spaces. Everything is walk to work. We have got cycle tracks, safety. We have addressed the street light, street design, urban designs, and the social amenities. And then one by one, I'll just go through it. Again, something quite unique is within 5-minute walking of every residential neighborhood, there will be a neighborhood park, neighborhood cluster we call it, okay? Within a 10-minute walk, which is 800 meter walk, there will be a community park. And within a 4,000 meter walk, there will be a regional park. This is some state-of-the-art best practices that we have incorporated, where the city has to be green and open space, and almost 5% of Dholera is open space and green. That's very high compared to most of the Indian cities. So what are we providing in each one of these different parks? So in a regional level park, for example, we have all these different facilities, and they are typically clustered around the park. So it will be easy for people to find out where those clusters are. You will have all these different things. Then when you come to neighborhood and community, you can see in a neighborhood park there will be primary school, nursery, local markets. But in a community park, you may go to integrated schools, like a high school. You can go to Anganwadi, community market. So you can see there is a distinction between short walk, where smaller families and quick to get areas, and then there is a little bit further walk for some larger activities that go on. And this is how we have spread out all of the social infrastructure. So this is already pre-planned. So you will not find some school coming up anywhere or the zoning being changed. Nobody can change the zoning in Dholera. It's pre-planned, it's fixed, so you know exactly where all of these facilities on the right-hand side, and they are located on the map there. I know it's hard to read, but they are located on the map. They are all properly shown on the map. So you can know exactly if you are planning something in Dholera, where all the social facilities will be coming up. I talked about the canal earlier, and we see great opportunities in the canal. You know, particularly for me, coming here to Dholera and designing a brand new city. You know, I always notice when I'm in India that it is the sense of civic sense, civic sense, pride for our community, art and architecture. I don't know, for some reason, Aajkal ki generation doesn't give it a lot of value. So we are trying to bring that back through this whole canal feature, where we may have art and artistic expressions. We may create zones that will allow people to showcase their art culture. We may create zones where we can demonstrate Swachh Bharat, some of the national initiatives like Swachh Bharat. So we are trying to create an environment where family is just as happy as businesses, where we have a lot of open spaces, a lot of parks with good kindergarten schools, good school education, good public hospitals, public facilities. So all of these things are pre-planned. Now all that we need to do is get this tremendous audience interested and start building, right? Okay, so in terms of municipal operations, I mentioned earlier that we are providing a lot of smart devices and systems into Dholera. All of this is going to come into a central command control center. And this command control center, the picture on the top left that you see, is more like if you have seen the movie Star Wars. You know how they show all those big screens. So the entire city is going to be mapped and planned from there. So every single traffic light, every single water meter, every single usage, everything comes into this command control center. You know, Ahmedabad uses miniature version of this now. They have a police command control center. Surat also has one. But for a city-wide, nobody has one yet. So Dholera will be the first one. And what I mentioned earlier, this whole cycle of gathering data, bringing the data into the control room, writing the computer algorithms and the analytics to give you the knowledge to make smart decisions is going to happen here. This is the brain of the city, which is going to reside in the SPV building. You saw the building earlier that's being built. Smart governance, which is again a a wireless form of government. Nobody should be able to, in today's day and age, should be required to walk to city hall or city offices to get a driver's license or pay your fees or bills. All of that will be online. You should be able to do it on mobile, you should be able to do it on your laptop. Everything will be online, and this is going to be built in. This is already being done in many places throughout India, because this is the easiest place to convert a brownfield city into a smart city. So a lot of the brownfield cities are already doing this. But for us, it's a way of life in Dholera. It's going to be part of our... And this is the ABCD building. I mentioned this is the construction that's already going on. You can see some of the pictures there. I think the video that was shown earlier on was a fantastic video that showed you some insights on the construction that was going on. So probably of most interest to all of you is, what are we selling, when are we selling, and for how much are we selling? So you can all do your businesses, and I see a lot of crore patis in here in the next few years. This is all of the zoning that I mentioned earlier. Purple is industrial. The same thing you can see on the right hand side is all of the plot sizes. So we have 0 to 5 hectare, 25 plots, 5 to 10 hectares, 17 plots. Now those plots, these are plots owned by the government. There are many, many private players in the activation area. We have not listed their plot sizes yet. This is only what government is selling right now. This is what we are targeting our audience, which is the industrial clients that we are selling to. We are also advertised heavily for selling our land. We have made a commitment that of the initial 5,600 hectare, we will give them allotment in 17 days and possession in 90 days. This is by far the fastest that we have made a commitment to. This is our commitment to efficiency and transparency, and our complete land allotment system is online. Anyone here can go online right now. That's the address right there. You can go online, you can select the plot, you can click on the plot. It will give you the information on the plot, what the dimensions are, what the setback is, and you can make an application online. That application online goes to our general manager, Dilip Brahmbhatt, who's sitting right here. He then processes it and puts it up to the MD for approval. There is a land allocation committee that votes based on the businesses. If the industry falls into one of many categories that we really want to have, which is the mega investment category, and there is several formulas for that, we offer several incentives and discounts. So a lot of industries are right now talking to us, and they are all looking at it. So as soon as we get a little bit above ground, I think in the next 3 to 6 months, we should have some sort of an idea of who our anchor tenants are going to be. These are the industries that we are targeting. Defense, general manufacturing, heavy engineering is our top 3 priorities, for the simple reason that all these 3 industries require the largest amount of land for their businesses. And Dholera has the highest amount of land of any new city in India. We have also done a benchmarking throughout Southeast Asia, and we find that there is no other new city or an industrial estate that can offer land parcels as big as Dholera. So if under Make in India, we are fortunate enough to get one of those contracts, the company comes to us, they will not find land anywhere else but Dholera, because they will want 1,000, 2,000 acres, that no industrial estate in Gujarat has that kind of land, but no other state in India has that kind of land to give. So some of the immediate opportunities that we see for this audience here is housing. We are going to start working on the housing, all of the different income groups. We're looking at some commercial opportunities, hotels, offices. Somebody wants to take a chance and start building ahead of time. Although, the industries haven't come, but somebody wants to take that chance and get on. I think there's a great opportunity now. Recreation, high interest to us right now, because especially golf courses, it could be a destination golf course. I still remember Kenneth Wills, Jamin, my associate here, has been involved in that for some time. When it was built, there was nothing there, but today it's such a thriving place. So a golf course resort is a destination that can convert into a city-like feature later on, because it can start as a destination, doesn't need a city next to it. An hour and a half drive, hour drive is not a big deal for golfers. They love to drive and play 18 holes. Solar park, another opportunity for a lot of you who are in the business. If you want to become developers of solar park, that is a great initiative by the government of India right now, giving grants and funding, and developers can think about this model as well. Educational institutions, and then finally medical facilities. So all of these categories are opportunities for people in the audience who are in maybe different kinds of businesses to take and start getting involved in Dholera. So finally, just in summary, I wanted to give you, I think I've touched upon all of these different factors. Why Dholera? Large land parcels, extremely planned communities, the best-in-class infrastructure, sustainable living, all of those things. Just walk away from here knowing that there is no other city like this in India that's being planned. It's going to be first of its kind, and it's going to be the best in terms of the services and transparency that it provides. So we have projected this kind of planning, design to many, many different forums around the world, and we have won many, many different awards since 2016. And this award especially is very recognizable, and it's one of the best awards because Dholera is the only city in the world, mark you, in the world, that is platinum rated. Only city. So just the fact that getting this title, and this is given by the Green Building Council, which is the highest green building council. All of you are developers and builders, I'm sure you're familiar with them. This was awarded by the Indian Green Building Council. To get platinum rating, you have to have 90 points out of 100, and you have to excel in all of your planning, in all of the infrastructure, in all of the smart city components, and we've done that. And with you, we will make this even more successful, we hope. So with that, I end my presentation. Thank you very much.